Hey everyone, I just wanted to give a quick intro to this video. As you can see, I'm not even in my studio, so this is pure spur of the moment type of video. But I've been working on my YouTube channel for quite a while now, just doing a number of videos talking about my experience being on different film sets and just shooting films and various videos since I was pretty much a preteen. And I felt like as I was kind of getting these videos ready to upload, I didn't really have a collection of some of the films I worked on since, pretty much since I was a kid. And so this is what this video is. It's pretty much just a collection of some of the videos, not all of them, but just to kind of give you guys an idea who is watching this channel or watching my social media, and just to pretty much kind of a way let you know that I I have done videos before. Just because if you were watching my channel or if you guys watch my channel afterwards, it feels like I'm just essentially talking about doing videos, but don't really have any videos that I've actually done in a one single location. So that's what this video is. And yeah, it's kind of, just a collection of videos and everything. Some were made as far back as like 2014, 2013, and some were made more recently as like 2023. But yeah, it varies. And so yeah, I hope you enjoy and everything. And again, thank you so much for watching.
Big finish. Well done, son.
I can fix this. Come on, boy.
I spend most nights chasing a dream I had. Across the city limits lies a road which is notorious for sightings. Recently, I've been seeing some sort of energy plant glowing with lights. The strange thing is this plantation wasn't there a week ago. Almost like it just appeared out of thin air.
I'm sorry. The number you have reached is...
Hey! Hey! Come here!
Yeah.
Hey, do you know which way Welsh Road is?
Yeah, it's over there, but right now it's closed because of construction.
Oh, really? Alright, thanks, man.
No problem.
Every time I go by this area, I turn back. Maybe tonight, it'll be different.
Rerouting.
Usually no one's ever behind me. Do I drive forward or turn back?
Silent films are the foundation for modern films. Just about everything that you see in modern films, way of cutting, type of photography done, moving camera, just about special effects, all of that was essentially created in the silent days.
Motion pictures are the most unifying form of art. With the book, you have to be able to read in the language it's transcribed in. Also, visuals are quicker to process for the brain, and if pictures are worth 1,000 words, how about 24 pictures per second? The idea that a film studio, an actual film studio, sat in this area is unfortunately too unbelievable. But guess what? It did. The man that just got shot there, well, his name was Gilbert Anderson, aka Bronco Billy, co-founder of the Essanay studio. It's kind of funny, whenever you look at the Niles hillside, you always see, because Fremont's surrounded by hills, you always see that Niles sign. It's almost like haunting, like ghostly, like that what if, what could have been. It's very, reminds me of the Hollywood sign almost. My earliest memory of the studio was this mural of Charlie Chaplin next to this sandwich shop I used to eat at as a kid. It wasn't until my mid-teenage years that I discovered that there was a museum. So, what is the Niles Essanay studio?
The Essanay Film Company had a studio in the Niles district of Fremont from 1912 to 1916. And they made over 350 films in that almost 4-year period. My name is David Keene. I'm historian for the Niles Essanay Silent Film Museum here in Fremont, California. Essanay Studio was founded in Chicago in 1907. George Spohr was an exhibitor in Chicago, and he had some money. Gilbert Anderson was an actor and director and writer, so they formed it with their initials S and A. What influenced Anderson to come west was looking for more sunny days and interesting scenery. The Niles studio closed simply because Gilbert Anderson sold out his share of the company to George Spohr in 1916. Anderson had been stuck in making these Bronco Billy films that were quick to make and profitable for the company, but Anderson wanted to go into feature films. He saw the future going towards feature films. And Spohr, who was the money man and the president of the company, wouldn't let Anderson spend the money for feature films. After Chaplin's contract was not renewed by Essanay and he went to Mutual for more money, Anderson just decided to quit and sold out his share of the company. And that meant that the Niles studio was no longer needed.
And then for the last question, I haven't really touched on this one yet, and it's probably the one everyone's wondering about, the documentary. So, what is Charlie Chaplin's role in the Essanay Film Studio?
Well, Charlie Chaplin came to the Essanay Company in 1915. He was signed by Gilbert Anderson. That was big news because he had been making $150 a week at Keystone, and Essanay signed him for a 1-year contract at $1,250 a week and a $10,000 signing bonus. During that 1915 period when he was with Essanay, you could just put a poster of Chaplin without any indication of what film it was, and people would go into the theater. He was more popular than the feature films that he was being shown with. He was only here in Niles for less than 3 months. He made one film in Chicago called His New Job at their Chicago studio. That was the first film he made for Essanay. He didn't like Chicago or the Chicago studio, So he came to Niles, and he was here for about a little less than 3 months, and he made 5 films while he was here, including A Night Out, The Champion, and The Tramp, which The Tramp is what he's most known for, I think. It's the first time that he walks away from the camera with his back to it, at the end of the film. And he did that right here in Niles Canyon.
Iconic shot.
Yes, it is an iconic shot.
To the one that got away. Time has healed most of my wounds. Honestly, there are weeks, sometimes months, where I forget about you. But every now and again, as I sorrow the problems of my life, I think about where yours ended, along the riverbank of CreekShore Field.
What is she doing here? She's here to watch. That's more like it. I need a minute. This is the lake.
I've always wondered if the expression I have on my face is the same one that everyone else had.
Sadness?
No. Acceptance.
I never felt that way.
Every sippy thick of that beer says otherwise.
What am I doing?
Would it help if I said I had no idea? It's funny.
What?
Remember that note that you left in my locker?
What now?
You know which one. When I first read that, I remember getting a chill across my spine.
What's that?
Nothing, just some stupid note Sally put in my locker.
We still going to that party tonight?
Of course.
Cool. We'll take my car.
But are you sure you'll be okay to drive?
I'll be fine. I'm not gonna drink. Promise.
You're so childish, I swear.
I'll see you after class.
It's not your fault.
It's easy for you to say. This town will always remember me and him as the ravens who flew and tested immortality.
You were immortal to me.
That's the problem.
You know, I think this alcohol's starting to wear off.
Well, then I guess this means goodbye.
Your turn to bat.
Davey. Can I ask you something?
What?
Why'd you do it? Why'd you get in the car with her that night?
I didn't think anything would happen.
Do you know where you're going? No. So you're just gonna leave and never come back? That's it, huh? You don't get it. I don't get it. Yes. It's funny, you've been following me my entire life, and you still have no clue of who I really am. You just see a reflection of yourself. Is that so? Listen, traveling through time isn't easy, but someone has to do it. So that someone's you, huh? Yeah. See, you and I, we live in a bubble. We always have.
Don't you remember the mocking, the humiliation that comes to our diagnostic? So you still don't get it. I want to change what we have. Rover. What? What woman's gonna marry a schizophrenic? What job will hire you? It's a miracle that you could drive this trailer, let alone a time machine. Rover, I'm not real. Only a figment of your imagination. We've had good times together. Many, in fact. But my point is, I'm your inner thoughts, the ones you compress. And I'm telling you, don't risk messing with others' past just to make yours better. I can prevent things. Bad people from gaining power. There'll always be somebody to replace them. Remember a few years ago when footage of that Civil War ghost had popped up? Everyone thought it was a hoax. Until they actually went to that museum and saw him with their own eyes. He ran at them. Remember? Are you sure? I've traveled back in time before, haven't I? We've had this conversation before. Answer me! Or are you always schizophrenic? Who are you? It's strange being the native, isn't it? How'd you survive? You saved me. When I was 8 years old, you appeared out of nowhere. Gave me a blueprint to that time machine out there. He said not to use it until the apocalypse. I thought you were crazy. That is until you appeared every single day to make sure I did that. Eventually, he stopped coming. I forgot about the blueprint, got married, moved on with my life. Until the apocalypse seemed inevitable. When I did build that time machine, it didn't send me back to save my family, friends, or whoever. No. It sent me here, to your timeline. Why? I don't know. Where are you going? It's too late. There's trillions of us out there. We're nothing. Just a speck of dust.
Yeah, tired, that's all. I don't know why they scheduled this ceremony so early. It's like they wanted us to miss it.
I mean, I think her family probably just wanted to get it over with. Can't imagine what her parents are going through.
On our first date, after dinner, I said something so stupid.
What'd you say?
She told me how much she loved the restaurant I took her to. Then I said, well, wait till I see where I take you for date number 2. God, that moment still haunts me to this day.
So where did you end up taking her for the second date?
A donut shop.
A donut shop?
Well, I wanted to go somewhere where people don't normally go for a date, and McDonald's was closed, and the donut shop was next door.
Such a romantic. Can't believe she went on a 3rd date with you.
Same. And a 4th, 5th. But that summer was ours.
Yeah. I remember when I first met Clementine. Stats class, freshman year of college. We were both barely passing the class. Just our luck. Miss Sue decided to pair us together for the final project. We decided to do it on the 27 Club. I remember sitting out her dorm just talking about what we would do if our lives were destined to end at 27.
If I were destined to die at 27, I would change my major from poli-sci to literary criticism so that I could spend my days in bed reading poetry.
Well, that wasn't easy.
Did you see how small her urn was? 22 years of a life all encased in something so physically insignificant.
Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I need some time alone.
If you need anything, just call me. Doesn't matter the time.
Thanks. I'll see you later.
Okay. We didn't work. And all memories, to tell you the truth, aren't good. But sometimes there were good times. Love was good. I loved your crooked sleep beside me, and never dreamed afraid. There should be stars for great wars like ours. Maybe in this season, drunk and sentimental, I'm willing to admit a part of me, crazed and kamikaze, ripe for anarchy, loves still.
It's nice. You really want a donut, huh?
What? Hello? Is anyone here? Hello? Where is everyone? Hello? Hello? Is anyone here? There's no one here? No way. Where is everyone? This is all to myself. This is so cool. What am I gonna do? What the? This is awesome. All right, class. Today, we're gonna learn history of eggs. Hey, you there. Are you even paying attention to my class? What are you writing down? What is this? Do you even know how to read? Are you even in the right class? Get out of my class, now. I'm gonna have to call campus security on this guy. Students these days, so disrespectful. Huh. Phone line's cut. Guess it's your lucky day today. Punk. Now class, today I'm going to teach you how to properly crack an egg. Ah! Any questions?
Caballeros, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Aquí hay una baraja, nunca abierta. Las reglas del juego solamente es una. Sin trampas. Sin trampas. ¿Traen dinero?
Esperemos que sea suficiente.
Nunca salgo de casa sin billetes.
Jamás me presento a una jugada de estas sin dinero.
Bueno, aquí traigo lo mío. ¿Eso es todo lo que traes?
Para empezar, pero si no es suficiente, aquí hay más.
Bueno, eso se mira mucho mejor. Señores, comencemos. Tú das. ¿Cómo se siente, amigo?
Más seguro que nunca. Solo espero que ustedes estén dispuestos a perder.
Me gusta tu seguridad.
Siempre voy seguro, siempre voy seguro.
Aquí nadie viene a perder. Vamos a jugar.
Como ven, la baraja, tal y como venía en su paquete, así les voy a dar sus cartas. No voy.
Haces.
No, compa.
Yo paso.
¿Y usted, compa?
Pocarito, pócar de haces.
Ah, carambas, ¿cómo lo hizo?
La única regla fue no trampas. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto? Señores, llévenselo.
Hey everybody, I hope that you enjoyed all these videos, and if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much. It means a lot just that sat through, watched all these films that I've made pretty much throughout my entire life. It really does mean a lot. And again, I just really want to say thank you a lot. And yeah, I just wanted to give a sort of general outro to this overall, packaged collection of films. And essentially, for the most part, I try to find films that I felt like represented the best sort of a version of where I was at as a filmmaker at that time. I did make more films for sure. I did kind of, more films of, especially when I got my license around my car. You kind of, if you saw that film, I think it was the one of either the third or the fourth one called Strange Lights, where I was either shooting a friend of mine who was on a car driving down a dark road at night. I did a lot of that stuff. I really just love doing that, like, car short films because they were so easy and you could really get some cool locations with them. But I felt like it was a little repetitive, and unfortunately, I had a really bad habit when I was younger of using copyrighted music, and so but actually, for the most part, I really try to avoid having any copyrighted music in this video just because I didn't want to deal with the hurdle of getting a copyright strike and that whole nightmare. Even in fact, the first film, Ricochet, I believe used to have a Beach Boys song. Like it originally was released with the Beach Boys song underneath the track on the track of the film's score. I just decided that that was the easiest one to change and edit out, and I had already done that a few years ago because I had re-released that film on a YouTube channel with the updated score that you see in this collection, so it was already done, and in fact, the other films I had mentioned that had actual, like, copyrighted music, they had that music mixed in with, like, different sound effects and maybe even dialogue, so it was gonna be a nightmare to do all that stuff for me, maybe in the future. But I felt like too, after a while, the certain films became repetitive of themselves too. So I try to pick and choose which ones I felt like were again, the best representation of who I was as a filmmaker during these various years. So you even notice too that there's sometimes even gaps. Like I don't believe I have a film in 2017 in this collection. And it's mainly because I was in film school a lot and just doing a lot of projects that were in class. I actually had a film I remember very well that I shot on actual film. I believe it was a 16 millimeter film reel. And it was a group project. I had a lot of those group projects, and I couldn't find that, but I didn't really do that big of a deep dive into finding it ultimately, so that's probably the reason why too. I'm sure I could if I looked at some hard drives, I'm sure I can find it somewhere. And, I didn't upload those films because I felt like my involvement in them was, like, more it was very divided equally between, like, a group of 4 or 5 people, and, while there are a lot of people who helped me with these different films and everything, I was clearly I was the director in them, and so in those other ones I mentioned, I was more just like, it was kinda like everybody was a director, so I just didn't feel like it was right for me to try to claim that I'm like, "Oh, this is my film," because it was really everybody's was the director and that's those situations. And a lot of the films from 2017 are like that, so that's why I just didn't include them. They were just class projects. And, yeah, what else can I think of? Yeah, 2021 and 22, I don't believe I have a film either. So I was primarily working on Starship, which is my feature film. And so there was nothing really to include during that time period. But I did do a lot of videos during that time period. I did business features. I also did a series called Spirits of Downtown with my old job. And it was essentially a ghost show that they had already been doing. But when I got hired, I just sort of took it on too, and it was like what you see in kind of Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters, but it was all based in downtown Stockton. So we go into different buildings, and kind of like the Niles video that I have in this, where it's like you do interviews with people. It's a mix of documentary, and then you'd also have the actual investigations in these videos. Is very similar to that, but I didn't include those ones in here because I technically don't own those, and I just didn't want to deal with any kind of legal hurdle or anything because they're not really mine, even though I was heavily involved in directing those and yeah, I was behind the camera and the whole thing. I edited those, and so yeah, and the business features that again, that's not really I don't really count that as like a film per se. I might do a video maybe in the future just showing off some of the business features that I've had. But again, it might become a problem because I technically don't own those because those were under my old job too. So if you're ever curious to see that type of stuff, they are actually on my website on my portfolio, seanchavrat.com. You can find that stuff over there, and I'm sure there you can dig around, find it on YouTube as well too. But yeah, so these were just sort of the films I felt like made the most sense and were the easiest to include while also being the best representation of me growing as a filmmaker. And yeah, I hope all of you enjoyed it. Yeah, if this is goes well, maybe I'll try to see if I can dig up some more films that I did um and include them. There was one that I was looking for and I could not find it. It actually it's a little depressing that I couldn't find it. I checked everywhere. I checked every hard drive. I checked my Google Drives. I even went on Film Freeway to see if maybe I had intended to submit it to a film festival at one point, hoping that I could see it on there and just download it from there. Could not find it. I really don't know what happened to that film. It was a cool, like, kind of one-shot film. I did it around the same time that I did the, short Germs here, the 2019 short that I have on this in this collection. I actually had the same friends in that film as well too. And so, yeah, it's unfortunate because I really wanted to actually include it on here. It was only like a minute long, but it was pretty cool just the way I shot it because it was all one take. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the films that I have for now to kind of show. And again, I just really wanted to get that stuff out there, get everybody to sort of see my an idea of the work that I've done. And yeah, I hope again you guys all enjoyed it. And as always, I hope you guys have an amazing day and bye.